Hey everybody, welcome back to Reddit Daily. I'm Kyle, and today I'm just looking at the default front page of Reddit with popular set to everywhere, and no subscriptions, no anything, just the basic default front page. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. First up, from R Mildly Infuriating, submitted by Melon420. Title, the amount of food that is being thrown out at Dunkin Donuts each day. So this looks like a GIF or a video.
Closing at Dunkin.
I like how she snuck in the one little like donut hole in the middle there. Who can tell the difference? It's crazy. It just keeps going. I remember in college, a friend's girlfriend worked at a bakery, and whenever we would hang out at that guy's place, sometimes she would come over after work and just bring like trash bags filled with like cakes and donuts and breads and whatever else. Wild. Probably at a big corporation like Dunkin Donuts, she wouldn't even be allowed to take any of it back or like give it to people. Ridiculous. Something is not working there. Something's not right there. If there's that much excess, I mean, that's included in the cost of each donut, I guess. And then there's got to be a better way to do things. Come on, somebody. Stop this madness. Next, from our Ask Reddit, submitted by Spacetime Dragon 03. Text, you get to go into any fictional universe for 30 days. Anything you buy, skills acquired, etc. will be transferred to the real world with zero repercussions. Where do you go? Ask Reddit, so we've got to dive into the comments here, see what people are talking about. First comment, baby grenade. So, do I start with nothing? Basically, I have 30 days to acquire enough of whatever currency to buy whatever I'm taking back. Can I steal something and bring it back? The response from the Honorable Spacetime Dragon 03, 03, says, pretty much also applies to magic, tech, mythical creatures, etc. So, Baby Grenade answers Skyrim. 30 days should be enough to exploit the alchemy enchanting loop and create some god tier enchanted items. Skyrim's a good choice. Let's go down and see. So Radiant Fusion 0711 says Star Trek. I want me a replicator and maybe a transporter and a universal translator and of course a spaceship. Another respectable decision. 5440 or Fight says you don't want a holodeck? Surely you want a holodeck. I mean, the list goes on and on from things you want from Star Trek. Next up, and maybe this will be the last one, because we just keep it moving here. Keep it quick, keep it light, keep it moving. Next is one and only Jack Shit. It's spelled with a CH, so I'm not cursing. Shit with a CH and two T's, like the creek. Underscore any underscore for emphasis. Any fictional universe opens Microsoft Word. So is Microsoft Word a fictional universe? Or he's writing his own. There you go. Create your own and then you can enter it and you can write whatever you want to be in it. Ulysses Word says, literally the plot of a book I read. 1. Some rare people can pull objects and magic out of books. 2. One of these magicians writes a book containing an OP object, OP meaning overpowered. 3, he pulls it out and gains the use of that object. And the book is, I have to click. It's a spoiler. So I'm going to click it to reveal the spoiler. Don't panic. Libriomancer by Jim C. Hines. There you go. Next, our next effing level, submitted by Night Moon Unicorn. Title, Usain Bolt, what a legend. You can tell a lot about a person from the way they treat support staff. We've got a GIF here. Usain Bolt talking to some young kid who's an assistant or something. Gives him the little fist bump. Here he's standing in front of a lot of assistants. I like this guy. Let's go back a little bit. You can tell this guy, whatever they're doing here, like they're all lined up with their runners that they're here to support. This guy's got he's side-eyeing Usain Bolt. You can tell he really wanted Usain Bolt. Whoever he got, he's not really interested in, but he's like, man, I wish I was, look. That grin, like, I wish that was me. I was supposed to be Usain Bolt. Instead, Timmy got it. Because his dad knows the commissioner. Damn, Timmy. That should have been me. Okay, here he has a young woman who he handed a piece of paper. And he's... Okay, she gets a fist bump too. Everybody gets a fist bump. Fist bump for this guy. Made his day. That's a happy guy. He's still like grinning and laughing, cracking up in the background. I mean, a living legend, Usain Bolt. That's a story that guy's gonna tell his kids. Signature Usain Bolt fist bump. That's just good stuff. Next up, from Our Data is Beautiful, Pie Chart Pirate's back. Another piece of original content from Pie Chart Pirate, and I still can't say the name correctly. Title, COVID-19 vaccination doses administered per 100 in the G20. We've got ourselves a gift chart, which is hard for me to describe in real time. UK off to a very strong start here in early 2021 in February. United States starts to gain some momentum. Turkey, a surprising number 3. US overtakes UK around the end of April of 2020 and just keeps going up. Actually, the UK is still ahead by the end of it. And then everybody else is kind of down in a lump down at the bottom. Cool to see those numbers going up. It'll be nice to see more of these countries so that we can, you know, return to the movies and traveling and whatever else, all these things that many of us haven't really been doing for the past year or so. Next up, our news, submitted by Samir Sarah. The title is, You Shouldn't Be Able to Breathe. Officer tells man before he dies. Yikes. This is going to be a, I can just tell. No upbeat music. I read the front page. There's good news, there's bad news, there's all kinds of opinions, there's controversial things. I read it all. So sometimes the change in tone can be jarring. I turn off the bouncy music when it seems like it's going to be something serious, because it just doesn't fit it if I'm reading about something sad and there's like boom, boom, bop, boom in the background.
But the jailers he struggled against taunted him.
I can't play this sound. Gonna get a strike. So, even the video probably can give me a strike. Somebody's being, what's the term there? Restrained. on the ground. And the cop said, "You shouldn't be able to breathe, you stupid B star 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 D." I'm not really even sure what. Oh, bastard. You stupid bastard. Wow. Another officer says, "Easy, easy. Remember, asphyxiation, guy." He remembered. He told the guy, "You shouldn't be able to breathe." Jeanette's last words were, "I'm good." Wow. That's about enough of that. I'm going to bring back the music. Recompose ourselves and bring back the music. And on to the next one. From Damn That's Interesting. Poster, "My Memes Will Cure You." Title, "The World of Noise According to a Deaf Person." That wasn't that far off. That was pretty good. I probably couldn't do much better than that. Spot on. Spot on. Next up, Our World News, submitted by Nightbuster. And my dog's having some kind of an issue back here. You guys okay? My dog's decided it's a good time to have a little doggy fight. From Our World News, submitted by Nightbuster, title, "Israeli Media, Cabinet Approves Ceasefire in Gaza." Finally, holy cow. Israel and Hamas agreed to ceasefire to end bloody 11-day war. Nice. That's great news. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Associated Press. We'll just keep moving. That's good news in my book. I'll have to read up a little bit more on that later. Next up, Our Facepalm, submitted by Kirishima-san. Title, "Look at this idiot. Look at this idiot." Expand the image. It's a tweet from Stephen King. And he says, "No, coronavirus is not like The Stand. It's not anywhere near as serious. It's imminently survivable. Keep calm and take all reasonable precautions." And a response says, "And how the hell would you know? Did you even read that book?" And then somebody else says, "This is the most accurate representation of all social media that I've ever seen in a single exchange." Do they not see the name of the handle? Like, if they're going to be that snarky, the Stephen King, one of the most recognizable names in all of everything. You're responding to their Twitter account with the little blue verification symbol. I suspect a troll. All right. Our PS5, submitted by Aid This Fellow User. Titled, "PlayStation 5 is estimated to have outsold Xbox Series S and X by more than 2-1 during the first 3 months of 2021. That is a little surprising. I have a PS5 and an Xbox Series S because I expect there to be some of those Microsoft game company acquisitions. I expect there to be some exclusives, but also because Game Pass is just a really solid deal. And so I got an S before I was able to get my hands on a PS5. It took way longer. And I gotta say, I like the S. It's small. It takes up way less space than my PS5. And with Game Pass, it immediately gives me access to all kinds of games that I missed in the last generation, and some other new ones like the Sony Game Studios game, MLB The Show, is just included in Game Pass somehow. So that is kind of surprising that all of this money that Microsoft's throwing at their service, still PS5 outsold it 2-1. Pretty wild. Next on our funny, submitted by Othurlaki. Title: When let your friends choose any class they want on D&D. Expand the image, and we have a little sketch here. Text says, a guide to elves. First, we have elf. Kind of looks like Link from Legend of Zelda. Just an ambitious, clean-cut, straight-haired elf. Next, we have a high elf. His ears are a bit bigger. His eyebrows are really long and go like beyond his head. And then next we have really high elf. A high elf with visor, shades, and a backwards hat that says swag on it with a weed leaf. Smoking something. What? We don't really know. Looks like a joint, but we can't say for sure. It could be a hand-rolled tobacco cigarette, for all we know. Dog Bomber says, oh. Yeah. Okay, public freakout. Strap in for a freakout. This subreddit, I don't know what it is. There's something primal to watching somebody make a fool of themselves in public. I've been sucked into this subreddit many late nights, more than I care to admit. Submitted by King Shami. Title says, video captures a bystander coming to the aid of an Asian man under attack. This sounds like, okay, music off. No bouncy music here. What is this whole trend of anti-Asian hate? It's insane. Where did it come from? It's coronavirus? So like half of the weirdos think coronavirus doesn't exist, and the other half, there's probably a Venn diagram. Some of those are the same people that both don't think it's a real thing, and they blame anybody who's Asian for it existing. It's just insane. Another giggle monkey says, put that wig into orbit. So the video, in case you're just listening to this, you weren't able to see, there's like 3 people in the driver's side door of a car messing with the driver. And this big guy comes up and just like knocks them all to the ground. One of their wigs falls off. And I wouldn't want to mess with this guy, like big barrel-chested guy, and you can tell he's telling them to F off, you know? And then the driver comes out. The driver himself is pretty buff. Looks like an Asian man, I guess. Wow. Just why? Just so stupid to do that. Next up. Okay, music back on. Bring in the music back. Let's cheer back up. From our hole up, submitted by Zetaril. What is Zetaril? It sounds like I need a prescription for whatever this is about to do to me. Text, this had me. Expand the image. Text at the top says, me when she accepts to do, oh my goodness. When she accepts to do the doo-doos and the poo-poos. That's not better than just saying anal, I guess. Text upside down. Me when she gets the strap on. So the picture is some eyes behind some kind of a face covering. And if you look at it the right side up, then it looks like somebody's making kind of like excited little sexy eyes. Kind of seductive eyes. If you look at it upside down, I can't really tell from my angle, but it probably looks like somebody scared. Hey, you offered. She accepted. Conditions met. Make it happen. This is not the time to chicken out. Give her what she wants. Next, from HoloLive. That's some kind of a, VTuber? What do they call these things? I don't know what this stuff is. Submitted by Coco Kiryu. Title is This Week's Reddit Shitpost Review. It's a big old image. Reddit Shitpost Review. Reviewing our HoloLive craps every weekend for Redditors. Well, that's kind of nice. Sunday at noon. Japan Standard Time. Guess who's coming this time? Okay. It's like what PewDiePie does. Kind of like what I'm doing right now, just looking at Reddit, but they're looking at the Reddit for their own community. Well, that's kind of fun. Well, that sucks. Submitted by Witchfinder General. The title is, wow, apparently I understand neither physics nor tires. So we've got a video or a GIF here. It's a GIF. Oh my goodness, what just happened? They're driving on an interstate. The text says OMG, it's a vertical video. Okay, so a tire fell off a semi-truck, it looks like, and it's just wheeling down the highway, and some car comes up and hits it and ramps over it, launches into the air, flips over like 2 or 3 times. The back of the car is probably like 10 to 15 feet in the air. It's crazy. Apparently, I also don't understand physics or tires. That's pretty wild. I mean, I guess a big old semi-truck tire, it's got to be strong, and it's got to have a lot of that elasticity. Something. Physics words. Tires have a lot of them in them. I just explained it. Easy. Okay, next up. Squared Circle, wrestling something or other, I don't know. Submitted by Stone PA 11. Title is PW Insider. WWE releases Velveteen Dream. I know some of those words. What does this mean to anybody else? WWE NXT star Velveteen Dream was released today by the company, according to multiple sources. Okay, so some wrestler is no longer going to be wrestling. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Velveteen Dream fans. I don't know why. Don't really care to know why. If you do, if this news upsets you and it somehow is finding its way to you now, go look it up. Our memes, submitted by I'm All Sevens. Title, Fuck Cancer. When the kid with cancer beats it and returns to school. And it's a gif of Nacho Man Randy Savage. That's more like it, if you ask me. But Macho Man Randy Savage being carried in by a bunch of buff 80s dudes sitting next to a glamorous 80s princess, standing up, arms out. He's entering. He's the king. Arena's going wild for him. Next, on our competitive Overwatch, submitted by KRD2PL. Title, OW2 is 5v5. Overwatch 2 is 5v5. Hey, I figured it out. So there's a highlight from a Twitch stream where Aaron Keller, the game director, I guess, confirmed that Overwatch 2 will be 5v5. Good news for Overwatch fans who like 5 people versus 5 people in the game setting. There you go. That's my take on it. Our cryptocurrency, submitted by Zealous Ideal Wave 69. Text, U.S. government just admitted crypto is here to stay. Text post, not sure why there's FUD following Biden administration's plan for crypto transfers over 10K to be reported to the IRS from 2023. This is good news and a bad week for crypto. In my opinion, the U.S. government just admitted crypto is here to stay. Unless I'm missing something, I'm not selling. That's an interesting perspective on it. That is kind of part of cryptocurrencies becoming a bigger thing. There's a lot of money out there that wants a safe, regulated way to get involved in all of this stuff. And there's people who believe crypto should always be totally wild, wild west all the time. A little bit for another type of person, another type of money looking to enter the space. They might like having some seatbelts on. I don't know. So Crypto Bum Guy says, joke's on them. I'm always in the red. Right on. Nice. Shilling those shit coins and ending up with nothing to show for it. Gary L. Only says, you'll have some sweet capital loss tax offsets. That's what's better than gains. Yeah, capital loss tax offsets. That's where the real fun starts. On our choosing Beggars, submitted by Phantom 1/3. The title is, you bought your coworkers donuts? You're scum because you bought day-old donuts. Capiche? I added that part for dramatic effect. Oh, it's somebody commenting on the Dunkin Donuts video that we already watched. Let's see what they have to say about it. Phantom 1/3 says, I remember getting boxes of day-old donuts for like $1 or less a dozen. That was the way to go when you were buying coffee and donuts for a construction crew. And then somebody else says, yeah, because F those lowly construction workers, they don't deserve fresh donuts. And then the original poster says, I mean, unlike you, they weren't choosy beggars, so they appreciated my dad buying them donuts and coffee instead of not, because he didn't have to. The day-old donuts made it affordable. And then the other person, choosy beggars, you just can't help yourself but be a C word. Even when you think you're being nice, I bet you buy fresh donuts for the office, but the scum get what you can afford. Senior type all too often. Somebody's got a chip on their shoulder. I work in an office. Actually, I mostly work from home, but when we go in, it is an office. I sit at a desk. If somebody was giving me a donut, I wouldn't ask if it was a day old or not. I would just eat it, unless it had like mold on it. Donuts are it's all like preservatives and sugar. None of it's real. A day later, it's still fine. I've eaten plenty of day old donuts. So Phantom 1/3 says, wow, you're a real POS, aren't you? My dad was a contractor. We worked on the site with everyone else. When we went for our morning donuts, we chose to get enough for everyone. Instead of just fresh donuts for ourselves, we ate the day-olds too. Yeah, I used to have a roommate who worked at the sandwich shop, Jimmy John's. He'd bring back trash bags full of bread. We'd load up. We'd put spaghetti in the bread. Anything we could find, we'd put in the bread. And we liked it. Oh man, I'm such an old. It's the same. It's like the stories of walking, but even that's something a boomer would say. So I'm just gonna stop. Next, R2X chromosomes, submitted by I Love Cats, was taken. Good name. Title: if you live in Texas, I hope you're on birth control. Uh-oh. 2X chromosomes. Obviously, it's a subreddit for and by women. And I say, let them have their subreddit. Okay. Abortion's banned after 6 weeks with extremely rare exceptions. We're looking at lawsuits and edit inserted here. have been made aware I was confusing this part with the abolition abortion bill. It is correct. Jail time is not on the table yet with SB 8. Ladies, nothing about them in here except they can sue us for this as well. I guess telling us what to do with our bodies isn't enough. Texas is even pushing for bills that go as far as to give a woman the death penalty for an illegal abortion, but this has not passed yet. There you have it. Next, Our Science, submitted by Blank Verse. The title is Face Masks Effectively Limit the Probability of SARS-CoV-2 Transmission, from Our Science. What is this post? Where does it come from? It comes from science.sciencemag.org, which is what the American Academy something of Sciences report. Face masks effectively limit the probability of SARS-CoV-2 transmission. And here's the abstract, or at least a piece of it. Airborne transmission by droplets and aerosols is important for the spread of viruses, what most everybody has been saying since last, February or March. Face masks are a well-established preventative measure, but their effectiveness for mitigating in SARS-CoV-2 transmission is still under debate. We show that variations in mask efficacy can be explained by different regimes of virus abundance and related to population average infection probability and reproduction number. For SARS-CoV-2, the viral load of infectious individuals can vary by orders of magnitude. We find that most environments and contacts are under conditions of low virus abundance, where surgical masks are effective at preventing virus spread. More advanced masks and other protective equipment are required in potentially virus-rich indoor environments, including medical centers and hospitals. Masks are particularly effective in combination with other preventative measures like ventilation and distancing. Well, it's nice that there's this big old study. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It is on sciencemag.org. Read up on it. It confirms what a lot of people have been saying for a long time. I'm just going to read the top comment. Blank Verse, which I think is who submitted this link, says, okay, just a clip from the abstract. Scooby Deezy. What's Scooby Deezy got to say about it? Does the paper only deal with infection of an individual wearing a mask, or does it also talk about mask-to-mask transmission rates? My understanding has been that masks are generally not great at stopping things coming in, but can be very helpful in stopping things getting out. So that mask wearing is for the benefit of others, and yourself by extension. At any rate, it's nice to see the study on this showing efficacy in environmental viral loads. And this study only focuses on things coming in, not going out. Everyone wearing masks could help turn high viral load environment into a low viral load environment, but the study seems mostly focused on assuming that viral load is X and whether Y type of mask is effective at stopping droplets coming in. Interesting. Yeah, I always thought the same thing. Masks are mostly helping you to not inadvertently spread. But they can also be effective at helping you not receive, so that's good. Submitted on R Made Me Smile by AARon98. Title, I just moved into my first very own place and am living 100% independently. Well, good job, AARon. Nice. He's got his setup back there. Looking solid. Looking good, man. It's a nice TV. I like those mocks, too. His shoes. Snazzy. Congrats. Next, our SuperStink. Submitted by Royd Rage Smurf. Title, Petition. Create a Before MOAS user flare, which will be unobtainable after it begins. SuperStink is a investing subreddit with a sense of humor, I suppose. I don't know what MOAS is, but I Love Good Grammar likes the suggestion. I'm gonna Google what's MOAS, other than just a pretty funny sounding thing. MOAS. Mother of all spreadsheets. Mother of all short squeezes. That's it. That must be what it means. Talking about GameStop. Yeah, interesting idea. These Reddit investing communities, I'm sure, were just flooded with new people before the whole GameStop situation, or after the whole GameStop situation. So if you were there before, you're a true OG. Okay, 2 more. Are dank memes. Submitted by Unironic Thatcherite. Unironic Thatcherite, so somebody who likes Margaret Thatcher. Title, Canada and Australia. Text at the top, when people start criticizing the United States for its treatment of indigenous people. And Canada and Australia are looking at each other. Act natural. Yeah. Without making any effort to dismiss or make excuses for some of the seedier parts of the U.S.'s past. It's true, it's not the only country. In fact, you'd probably be hard-pressed to find any country that you could go back in the past and not find some shady dealings. I don't think that should be the point, I guess. The point is to acknowledge how certain things that happen in the past still affect the present and the future. And to be better, right? That's all. Not necessarily feeling bad about everything but terrible that's ever happened that we can't control anymore. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. Last post, Self-Aware Wolves. Submitted by Justin Miller Co. Title, conservative journalist accidentally admits to being a hypocrite. John Fugelsang says, I won't get vaccinated. I won't wear a mask. I oppose universal health care. I ignore infant mortality rates in the poorest states. Migrants are illegals. We need more guns on the streets. I'm fine with cutting wick and snap. I think the death penalty is just swell. I'm pro-life. I ignore infant mortality rates in the poorest states. That's like a bragging point? That's something you're proud of? Clearly, this whole thing is he knows what he's doing. He's going to get a reaction. He's going to get... people are going to get worked up. But just shamelessly, hey, I ignore infant mortality rates in the poorest states. How about you? Just a weird flex. Emily Miller. I read this and thought, oh, someone who has all my same positions. Then I realized you're mocking us. Okay, so John Fugelsang is joking around. Emily Miller thought, oh, wow, I agree with all of these things. Emily Miller believes. So the first two, a lot of people believe those. You might think it's silly. That doesn't really get much of a reaction from me. I oppose universal health care. Okay, yeah, a lot of people oppose it. That one, I ignore infant mortality rates in the poorest states. Emily does this. Migrants are illegals. So anybody coming into the country is an illegal. Emily believes this. We need more guns on the street. I think a lot of people believe that. I'm fine with cutting wick and snap. I think a lot of people believe that. I think that... oh, okay. I just now understood John Fugelsang. His whole point. I'm pro-life. All these things can help preserve life. Okay. Now I'm on the page. I'm on the same page as John. It's Friday night. It's been a long week, I guess. I'm tired. I think the death penalty is just swell. I'm pro-life. Yeah. Okay. I get it now. And that brings us to the end of the front page. If you made it here, well done. Really well done. I'll do a few more of these. Just kind of doing it to get the old juices flowing. Give myself something to do. If you come across these and you like them and you watch them, your comments, your interest can go a long way in keeping them going. Otherwise, I'll move on to another project. So, no harm, no foul. Thanks for watching again, if you did. If not, then you can't hear me. So, what are you worried about? If you want to see more, subscribe. It's that easy. And with that, I shall see you later. Have a lovely weekend, and take care of yourself, please.